Hey, this is Danny from the Magic Our Way podcast, and you guys are listening to the BS Podcast Network.
Hey man, what up? You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with your hosts, Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee, man. These are some good old boys from New Orleans, and you should just kick back, open your ear holes, and listen, man. Have fun. JMU saying snooch to the dooch.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. We are Artistic Buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. Today, we present our review of Disney's summer movie, Jungle Cruise. And look, this isn't your typical polished, practiced, pixie dust and Disney podcast. We are not in the parks every day trying to tell you the best mask to purchase so that you can be protected and still enjoy the sweet smells of the Pirates of the Caribbean water.
That's right. That's a good one. That's right, Kevin. We are not here to do that. We are here to drink, talk Disney's Jungle Cruise, and take you on a cruise of your own. And, of course, there'll be a booze cruise.
So put that in your mask and tell all the jokes you want.
And look, guys, my name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm your main Marvel Man, Eli.
And Lee. And hey, trust me not to bungle your vacation to the jungle.
And a guy that never bungles is our next special guest. Who are you, special guest?
Oh, it's Trader Kirk, here to sell you some good shrunken head.
You, sir, are canceled.
Right off the bat.
Golly.
I put an S on the end.
I didn't hear that.
He just shrunken head. No, not good anymore.
That's too indigenous.
Cannot make fun of head shrinking. It's not cool.
No, don't shrink heads.
That's right.
Miniature heads?
Can't
How
go
about
there.
just a little head?
I guess, yeah, you can have a little head.
Yeah, yeah.
I said little head.
A skosh even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Small
go
braids. Skosh of head?
A Scotia head.
That
That's
almost sounds illegal.
There you
Listeners, don't worry about Kirk. He's ship-faced.
good. Hey!
go. You get him, Taskmaster.
That's right.
Starting those puns off right.
That's right. So,
Happy
guys, look,
fun.
enough of our terrible jokes. Let's go discuss some Jungle Cruise love and magic. And that sounds means that we have some announcements to make. First of all, we should, everybody, if you have a glass, everybody should raise a glass to the guy in the red shirt over here whose birthday it is. We're recording this on Friday the 30th. And this is Eli, the man's birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday, Eli.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday. So
Another
drink.
year older, another year sexier.
That's what I'm
And
talking about.
Another year smoother.
you
That's
doing it right.
Another year single.
Yeah.
Another year single.
Positive. Jeez.
I like how you said after, I just get another year giving you some money. That's it.
Maybe he meant like past. Maybe past year, already passed.
You know,
So this next year's.
He meant
positive.
that I had singles for the club.
Yes,
That I
yes,
go
yes.
out.
You go
That's
out to
it.
the
See
club.
how smooth that work?
Out to
There
the
you
club,
go.
yeah.
That's
Look.
what you call experience.
Yeah, look, and if you want to spend some time with this guy, you can with our Patreon level Golden Oak, where you can throw your singles toward him. What I say? What did I say? Patreon.
What?
Yes, we have a Patreon.
Ho ho.
How do you like that? Ha ha.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, ho.
Whoa, okay.
Yes, we have a Patreon, guys. So look, if you want to support us, make sure you go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find five.
That's part of it too.
I tried to say fine.
Fine.
But it came out 5 because we have 5 tiers of awesomeness that you can support us with
Yes, you do.
to fit every budget imaginable.
and that's fine.
And that is fine. You know, and just straight off, usually we're going to do this at the end of the show, but I just want to say thank you to Kyle S. You know, again, to protect the innocent. I'm going to leave the last name, but he knows who I'm talking about. One of our first Patreons, and Trader Kirk over here. It's also our other Patreon member. He was number 2. Sign up. How
There
you
it
like
is.
that? Thank you so much, Trader Kirk.
Oh, no. I'm going to upgrade eventually because I'm going to get me my private Eli time. I will get it.
Oh, you're going for the Golden Oak.
I want that Eli time.
Oh, you want the Eli with time. So you don't care about anything else on the Golden Oak level. You just want Eli time.
Don't want no poster, no showtime. I want my Eli time.
We're gonna figure out the world's problems together.
We're gonna finish what we started in California 2 years ago, buddy.
Youch.
Oh,
Wow.
Well,
You, Kirk, and a rock.
going back to the rock.
yeah. I'm meditating on that.
Don't
Keep
be
it
surprised
going.
when we go to Disneyland in September and Kirk's sitting in that rock waiting for you.
Waiting for me to contemplate.
yeah. It's just like was that movie Sleepers in Seattle or something like that?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Where they're supposed to meet in the Empire State Building, which is built off of another movie. That's what it's going to be.
Be by the rock.
Eli says he's going to meet you at that rock, and if you truly love him, you'll show up at that
It's
rock.
gonna be more like a basic. Wait, what was the Kirk Douglas and
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction?
Oh, I thought it was that cowboy loving movie you were
I won't
talking
be
about.
ignored, Eli.
I'm talking to your doctor.
Brokeback Disneyland.
Don't talk to him too much because then he's got to pay for it.
Oh man,
that's right. Yeah,
You can't get all this genius
Yeah,
for free.
don't give the good
Can't
away
give
for
all
free,
the
man.
goods away early.
Golden Oak.
That's
Hold
right.
on.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, so if you want to partake in Eli's time, man, Golden Oak is the level you want to subscribe at, and it's an awesome level. And we definitely would thank you. There's a lot of good things. And check out all the other tiers, see if there's something a little bit better for you that you could afford. But look, patreon.com/Magic Our Way is where you can find all that stuff. Do that, man. We definitely appreciate it. And another announcement that we have is that fantasy football is just around the corner. And if you're listening to this show, it is August, and later this month, football will be coming back. Fantasy football will also be firing up. And so we have our two leagues, the free league, Mohican Fantasy League, as well as the paid league, which we lovingly call Cash Mountain.
Yes.
You're more than welcome to join either one. So if you are a new listener, or you didn't know we had a fantasy football league, we do. If you're an long-time listener and you want to be part of this and you play fantasy football and you want to join another league or join a league period, depending on how big into fantasy you are, you're more than welcome to join ours. And we'll make as many as what we need, man. We'll make room for you guys. So we'd like to get an account. Make sure you get in touch with us. Show at magicourway.com. Let us know, hey, I want to be in the league. Or if you've been in the past leagues and you're listening to this, just reply in the group. I put a post out there, and a couple of the league members already replied. So if you want to be part of that number this season, make sure you let us know, man. Show at magicourway.com or go to the Facebook group to one of those things if you're already in the league and just reply to my post. And join us for a little bit of fantasy and magic. And football with ball competition.
Get the dog.
That's right. That's the chance to beat us.
That's it.
Yes.
You can talk trash to us. You can be like, hey, I got you. But look, I think like every year, one of us
gets it. Although last year Austin took it. Austin
beat me in the final.
Yeah. So if you want to take on Austin, who's a Mohican, long-time Mohican.
That's it.
He's back with a vengeance. He's going to defend his crown. He'd be like Tom
belt.
Brady.
That's it.
He's probably like Tom Brady.
Which one did he take last year?
He took Cash Mountain.
Yeah, he took the big one. He took Cash Mountain. At Cash Mountain, guys, it's only $20 to join.
Yeah, it's not a large amount of money. It's just a little something that just to make the pot a little sweet.
Yes.
It's not a big commitment. And if you join our, what is that?
A free league.
Yeah, you join a free league. If you don't want to pay anything, you could do that too.
Mohican Fantasy Football.
Yeah,
Mohican
just learn
Fantasy
how it
Football.
works.
Very
Ask
straight up.
questions. Yeah.
We have our own Facebook group for that. We talk trash.
Yeah.
We have fun.
Yeah, you get to be part of Facebook group. I'll post updates every week as far as everybody's doing and stuff. So a little bit of football league news. So,
Very intricate.
yeah, join us, man. Let us know. If you want to do it, let us know. For this episode, we are reviewing Jungle Cruise, the Disney summer movie offering, which was released in the United States in theaters and on Disney Plus via Premium Access on July 30th, 2021. And here's a little promotion description as stated by the Walt Disney Company. Join fan favorites Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and Emily Blunt for the adventure of a lifetime on Disney's Jungle Cruise, a rollicking thrill ride down the Amazon with wisecracking skipper Frank Wolf and intrepid researcher Dr. Lily Houghton. Lily travels from London, England to the Amazon jungle and enlists Frank's questionable services to guide her downriver on L'Aquila, his ramshackle but charming boat. Lily is determined to uncover an ancient tree with unparalleled healing abilities, possessing the power to change the future of medicine. Thrust on this epic quest together, the unlikely duo encounters innumerable dangers and supernatural forces, all lurking in the deceptive beauty of the lush rainforest. But as the secrets of the lost tree unfold, the stakes reach even higher for Lily and Frank and their fate and mankind's hangs in the balance. So as always on our review shows, guys, before we jump into the details, let's give a quick around the room and see whether or not you like the show, your reasons for your opinion, yada, 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 and give your rating. Let's do this. Let's do the rating, 1 to 10. 10 being the best, 1 being... And so, I don't know. Who would like to go first? Who has a strong opinion about that? You want to go first?
Yeah.
All right, Eli, you go first, sir.
Go.
Our Marvel master will take us into the Jungle Cruise and lead us on this discussion.
I gotta say, how you said it was an interesting tour, if you will. I would give it an 8. I didn't have any, like Danny says before, I didn't have any expectations going into the movie, so I just kind of watched it for what it was, and it had very funny moments. It had good action beats. It does have some length to it, but all in all, it was pretty solid for what it was. I enjoyed it.
I will jump off the tour idea here because it was a 2-hour tour. A 2-hour tour. That's going to be my main complaint about the movie. I think it just was it didn't need to be 2 hours. It's a fun summertime movie. It's got some jokes, got some action. It's not like we're looking for an Oscar-worthy performances here, things like that. So, hour and a half would have been solid. I think it was a little too long. Rating, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I feel like I got my money's worth. I don't know that I would rush back to see it again at the theater anytime soon. If I had a friend that wanted to go, I'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, why don't you just come up to the house? I got it on Disney+. Let's just watch it here. Overall, I'm not disappointed. It's just not blown away. So 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay, and Eli, you gave it a what?
I give it an 8.
8. Okay, so 7 out of 10, 8. Kirk, would you like to go, sir? Since you're in the Jungle Cruise shirt and you're in your tiki backyard or patio, whatever that is, your bar area?
It started off at a 9 for me, ended up at an 8. I was really pumped when it started, and the first few minutes of it really went well. I liked it. I was excited, doing a little jumping up, and then kind of slowed back down.
Yeah? Okay.
So I'll finish up at an 8.
Yeah, interesting. Danny?
Golly, I never know how to do this number rating. I guess somewhere between a 6 and a 7. I guess I'll go a 7 is where I'll ultimately land. I mean, I'm with Kirk on this one. I was completely into it at first. Within the first 45 minutes, I'm like, Disney's got its next best franchise on its hands here, and I was pumped. I was having fun. Obviously, it's not your typical adventure movie. It was more of like a cartoony version of an action-adventure movie with the CGI and the silliness and the visuals. But as it went on and on and on...
For Niles and Niles and Niles?
it starts to drag on you so much, and you really just start feeling the length of the film. And then the laughs start to become fewer and further between one another. It kind of felt overstuffed. Like they just crammed so much into there. Like they took everything that they could think to possibly put in there that they thought worked from movies like Pirates or like The Mummy or typical kind of films that they were trying to emulate. And it just made the story even more and more confusing as plot holes then start popping up. And then every single time you think you have a handle on the story, they keep adding to it or then revising it, and now you don't know where it's going. And then sooner or later, you just stop caring. It got to a point where like an hour and a half into it, they start to introduce a love aspect to this that I totally was like, wow, I never bought that chemistry for a second. I never saw that at all. And now here's an hour and a half, I'm like, finish this up, and I'm like, oh God, we're going here now? So it started to fall apart, but I would put that first 45 minutes up against a lot of really good action film. I mean, just in terms of just sheer joy and fun, that was great. So I'm between a 6 and a 7. I'll be positive and go 7.
Yep. I'm kind of along the same lines, but I'm giving it more. I'm somewhere between the 7 and 8, and I'll lean towards 8 just to give it a positive for sure. I enjoyed it. I had fun with the movie. There's a lot of good aspects, but at the same time, it's like I kept thinking in my head, oh, this feels like Indiana Jones. Oh, this feels like the Mummy series with the brother and the sister, and Indiana Jones with the Germans, of course, and stuff. Then it also felt like Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's kind of like all those guys mixed in together, and you got yourself a ghost story, which you should better believe in, that kind of stuff. I enjoyed it. There was a little middle part in there that I remember taking note. It's like, this is kind of slowing down a bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of lulled, and then it kind of picked up again. But yeah, the beginning of it, man, really got me hooked, and I thought it was really, really great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was in there, and it was just, a good chunk. It started out as a 9 for me, and then it slowly kind of lowered.
Yes.
The more we got on. Yeah, I will watch it again. I did enjoy it. My kids enjoyed it. It was just kind of cool to see that, and see if, and maybe to go back and see if there's any details that I might have missed for the rise. I kept an eye out to see if there's anything that I did overlooked or whatever else. But it was interesting. It was interesting for sure. So yeah, I'll give it an 8. But honestly, I'm stuck between 7 and 8 and stuff like that. So, but in there, but definitely not a 9 or a 10. But it was a fun. There wasn't much to think about in this movie. It was pretty straightforward. It was just cool seeing The Rock. I like seeing The Rock.
Well, you brought up the whole thing with the Mummy, and I thought that was the perfect comparison because I heard a lot of people compare it to Disney trying to recreate pirates, but the Mummy was like the perfect comparison for this movie. You had the smart, adventurous girl who's out on the quest trying to find something. She's accompanied by her pompous, wimp of a brother who pees his pants whenever danger comes a-lurking, but they need the help of the badass adventurer who is kind of a bit of a rapscallion with a heart of gold, and they're chased by a bunch of CGI villains who are cursed. I mean, come on. It was almost like
the same kind of template. Almost.
Yeah.
The mummy on water.
Yeah.
The Mummy on water.
The Mummy on water.
Water Mummy.
It really was. It was I don't want to say a direct ripoff, but it really was copying a lot of the
same aspects of the curse, the whole mythos behind it. I'm with you. I mean, some parts that's why I kind of knocked it, but again, I'm with you. The first you said 45 minutes, like when they're introducing the characters, that was great. Like, I mean, I just now maybe it's a difference because I just saw the movie, and I know y'all probably had a little more time to let it seep in.
Let it marinate a little bit.
Yeah, a little marinate. But like I had just watched it, like the first sequence, I had lauged. I was like, oh, that's neat, So
for me, it was like easy to tell because for the first 45 minutes, I was on the edge of my seat, just watching it, just enjoying it. Once I started getting past that moment, there were times where I'm like, I wonder what's going on at the what's happening.
Your mind started drifting.
You just started falling out of it, and the more they kept piling on, the more you kept withdrawing from it. Kev, you hit on something because The Rock was the one guy that, I mean, I don't know if I should save this for the spoiler section or not. I think I can do this non-spoilerly.
Okay, be careful.
Or we can jump to spoiler. Would you feel?
Or we can jump to spoilers if you want to. I have no problem with that.
We're going to just make it festive, buddy.
I think I can do this.
Okay, you're going to
take the chance. You're going down this narrow river.
I'm going to try it.
Okay.
So the cast, I thought, was done very well with the exception of one character, and that was The Rock.
Really?
I thought The Rock was a little bit miscast. Not that he was bad.
Okay.
But that he was a little miscast. I thought Emily Blunt was perfect in her role. Mm-hmm. I really loved her. I mean, that opening scene with her where she's trying to get something, that was fun.
That was fun.
The brother, I mean, I felt like the brother, the the Paul Giamatti character. I liked him.
Yes,
a lot.
He was hilarious.
Great. The main villain played
Ciao. Hey,
Santa Maria. There was a guy,
amigo.
Freaking the bird. That was funny.
There was a guy. He's from Breaking Bad. Who's the main villain?
Okay.
Yes.
He was Prince.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah. He's from Breaking Bad. He's in a couple other things. Man, honestly,
Joakim.
I don't want to go too deep, but I felt like he was the most miscast. Like, he did not seem like a villain to me at all. But I'll get into more of that later.
Oh, I liked him. I liked him a lot. I thought he did a great job. I thought he was very over the top in his mannerisms and the way he spoke, and he just created a character that was so quirky that it was, to me, fun.
Yes.
It just fit what we were watching. The Rock was the one person, to me, that was just so stoic and brutish that you really never got that sense of fun out of The Rock. Like, it wasn't that he wasn't funny.
Okay.
Everybody else was just kind of overacting. it just felt like maybe they would have benefited a little bit more from like a Paul Rudd or a Ryan Reynolds or somebody else
like that.
No,
the real dry humor.
Right. It's so like, and that's the other thing. Like, for a guy who's like this, you when you meet him, he's just this loser con man in the jungle with no money, living off of his wits. It's hard to look at The Rock. And that dude's just so jacked. I mean, he's busting out of that little itty-bitty suit that they put him in. Which will have him
the buttons.
Big man, little coat.
That's exactly what it reminded me of, man. He looked tiny, and the suit looked tiny on him. He's like, you can't take for a minute that Paul Giamatti would ever have the balls to tell him, like, yeah, you owe me money, and I'm going to take care of this, I'm going to do that. Like, this dude could beat up anybody. You needed somebody with a little bit more comedic exaggeration in how they delivered some of this stuff to me. Also, to make him seem at least somewhat vulnerable.
I can see what you're saying there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. That was okay, right? Not spoiler. We're still not spoiler.
Right. Yeah, still not spoiler. Yeah.
Okay,
you know, like how Bruce Willis was in Die Hard.
Yes,
or Eddie Murphy in any movie Eddie Murphy's ever been in. It's like when situated, like, God, he gets excitable.
What do you want? Yes. Yeah, no, you're right. No, in that sense,
we could have Chris Rock.
I don't know that the acting there is quite Eddie Murphy.
What do you mean? Going down the river? What?
He was Dwayne Johnson. He was Dwayne Johnson. He was himself. He didn't. He was playing a character, but he was playing a character. He was like Dwayne Johnson playing a character.
I felt that. Yeah, I felt like that was as close to. That wasn't over the top WWE Rock. But that was almost, there wasn't.
He can do over the top.
Yeah.
That's what was so remarkable about it. It's like the more jacked he's gotten, the more he loses that ability to be wild and over the top and over exaggerated and gesturing and everything like that. It's just, he becomes more and more.
He's an actor. But I mean, this one is, I think that's the closest I've seen him in a movie to be like that. Not saying he was exactly like he is in wrestling. But I can.
Are you saying it reminded you? Like, it had sparks of.
It had sparks when he was telling jokes, and but it was dry. But he was kind of telling them with that kind of weird confidence. But he wasn't over the top telling it like he did in wrestling. But it wasn't like I've seen him in other movies where it's like, I don't know who that is. It looks like The Rock, but he's talking and he's like rah, 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 rah. Like, that's not what I'm used to seeing. So this was at least, and the character was a little closer to that. But yeah, if you're talking about having a caricature of other characters, I can see that with him. My only issue with him was really that once it got halfway to a certain part, and I can't say it, but you heard me saying when I was here, like, oh no, that's it. And then
I said the exact same thing when I saw it.
And then they came into the second half of the movie. That is where I kind of was like, all right. I didn't mind him being a big guy because he was dealing with all that craziness that was going on in the movie, and it kind of made me feel like, oh shoot, he ain't got no chance. But once I saw how you say he had a chance, it kind of took me out. It took me out of it a little bit. Like, I wasn't as concerned for him as much. So. That much I would say.
So out of curiosity, did you feel like The Rock was cast well for Maui?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that seems to match more of what he is. And so that could be a good basis of comparison
because
with that.
in Maui, he was this very arrogant guy. He was, he thought he knew everything. He thought he could do it. And then he was supposed to be that in this movie, but he didn't pull it off as well.
Right. He wasn't a wisecracker in Moana. He was funny because he was so arrogant and over the top. This, I mean, again, you're dealing with a loser con man who's making his living off his wits, cracking jokes here and there. I mean, you just expect more of a vulnerability to him, more of a better delivery, more over exaggerated.
Chris Tucker.
No, not correct. That would have been way too cartoony.
They did, man.
Oh no, I'm getting out of here.
Well, go.
Kind of like a Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
Yeah,
that's
like
perfect.
Yeah, Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China. That kind of thing. You're a tough guy, but you're still. Oh my! Look at all this crazy stuff happening, and still being able to deliver it well.
I like that. Yeah, that's perfect.
How about this one here? Toward the end of the film, I thought about this. I equated his Dwayne Johnson performance in this to Eddie Murphy in The Haunted Mansion. Eddie Murphy brought his character, the funny, joking, sarcastic, talking it like he does Eddie Murphy, to The Haunted Mansion, which doesn't really need that. And Dwayne Johnson brought his Dwayne Johnson character to the Jungle Cruise, which should have been that, but something a little different also.
Well, I don't think Eddie Murphy had that much funny material to even work with in the Jungle Cruise.
But he tried.
The Haunted Mansion, I'm sorry.
He tried, but I guess that's what made it kind of bad. He was, just trying to deliver it, and it was, of course, it was a bad movie too.
Yeah, no, I just felt like he was just a little miscast. That's all. I don't feel like he did a bad job at all. Don't feel like the chemistry between him and Emily Blunt was bad necessarily. I just felt the romanticism was forced.
Maybe not miscast, but misdirected. Maybe he's the right guy for the role, but the direction he was giving in his acting was not.
So we're blaming the director
well.
now.
Yeah.
Well, guys, now that we have done that, let's dive into the details. But first, I must give you a spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show yet and don't want anything ruined for you, make sure you hit pause right now, save this video, and come back to us later. So, guys, in 3, 2, 1, here we go! Spoilers! And how I'm going to ruin this for anybody that didn't listen to me? Oh, I know a good way. Trader Sam's in the movie. Oh, wait. I should say Trader Samantha? Trader Samuelita? Trader
Samuelita L. Jackson?
Yes.
Samuel Pat, a him or a her, a ma'am or a sir.
Somebody could be like, why can't she just be Sam? Like Pat or Chris. Like, okay, but anyway, my point is that Trader Sam is in the movie, and it is a her.
It's the she.
She had the top hat on.
She had the top hat on. She was the leader of that tribe, that
She was spooky.
the spooky tribe, the Oogie Boogie.
Yeah,
she says she's tired of the Oogie Boogie.
Yeah.
But yes, Trader Sam is female.
Yeah,
Spoiler.
I wonder if anybody's going to trip out over that, if the fan community's going to get upset.
I would have, for spoilers, I would have gone with The Rock was an undead zombie skipper.
I would have said that.
That's something I didn't see coming.
Yeah, I didn't see the Trader Samantha thing as being the biggest spoiler of the movie, but okay.
Well, I figure we get to that, but that part. But yeah, for me, that was one of the biggest surprises.
I thought the biggest spoiler was they were trying to save the tree from Avatar. That's what.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I thought.
It's funny when we saw that tree, and we're kind of jumping a bit, but it's okay. I was wondering when that was going to make it into an attraction.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's going to be pink crap hanging from the Tree of Life in Animal Kingdom soon.
I may as well be. And so when the moon goes away and all that stuff, that was wild.
Everybody's going to grab it.
Yeah, but really quick, when you said the Rock being undead and stuff, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh yeah,
because I did not mind the submarines shooting and all that stuff, because I'm like, oh man, I'm like, he dead, he'd get out of it. I'd be like, all right, go Rock, go. And then when they stab him and he falls down the clock, Danny was watching me watch the movie, and I was like, he dead, he dead, that's it.
That's the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's like, he's dead. And then the little brother, he fell at halfway. He didn't even fall all the way like The Rock did. He hurt his ankle. So yeah, he's dead. But then once he was like, oh yeah, I'm immortal, I kind of was like, okay.
Yeah,
well,
I was the same way. I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
That was the moment the movie jumped the shark for me.
That's, yeah.
What's interesting about that is I watched the trailer for that, and I remember seeing conquistadors and all looking spooky and stuff. I'm like, in my head, as I was going into watching the movie, I'm like, are we doing the whole ghosty thing?
We're doing the ghosty thing.
And we're doing the ghosty thing.
Okay, yep. That's all parts of the Caribbean right up in here.
All up in there.
I was with the whole healing tree petals, cursed conquistadors, German U-boats trucking down the Amazon River, blowing shit up. I was cool with all that. But when we get to zombie skippers and communicating with bees,
I got a good laugh on that.
Kiss breathing underwater.
Oh yeah, that was awesome,
guys. I'm out of this.
Okay, how exactly does that work? I was thinking Huh? What?
Yeah, it's like that's a single breath. Like,
but he's immortal, so it don't matter.
But what's
You don't
funny
need
is-
oxygen tank. I will be your oxygen tank.
like, you notice, like before, she was like, you don't bleed. I think you can breathe. Who knew that was setting something up?
Yeah, right.
Because like all of us would be like, he can't breathe. He's a zombie. He's undead.
Right.
No. You don't remember Emily Blunt said, I think you can breathe. I know you can't bleed. I think you can breathe.
Yes.
Every breath you take.
Yes.
All
You know
the
what's funny
stuff.
about that is like my science brain clicked on. And I'm like, normally when we exhale, it's carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
So how the hell does that work?
So he'd have to go
And just mouth and just
and like that, and that's all the air she gets to do everything.
To
she
do all
does.
the stuff, yeah.
Right. You can't take it into your lungs and breathe it out because yes, it's carbon dioxide. But if you just go like that and breathe it in, and,
yeah. You know what's funny? It's like Val, my wife. Val fell asleep partway through the movie, and she woke up just to see that, and she's like, "Oh, they're really under the water a long time." And she went back to sleep. It was like, you know what? You're actually right.
She really can't get that lever down.
Yeah.
You should have said, Val, why don't we do an experiment? Why don't you sit there? I'm going to pinch your nose so you can't breathe, and then I'm just going to kiss breathe into your mouth.
Well, that's what we're going to do in the pool at Universal.
Oh, good.
There it is.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
We're gonna
Let
do
us
that.
know because this
Yeah.
might be
That's
genius.
right. Turn
This
water
might
to
work.
stone.
Yeah. Hey, bring the GoPro. Let's see it
Yes.
for real.
There you
A whole
go.
level of kink there, man. Yeah.
Hey, man, that's love, man.
On the one hand, you might strengthen your relationship. On the other hand, Val might die.
I know,
But
yeah.
You'll know.
Yeah, people see us doing it and be like, only at Universal.
It'll be a great YouTube segment.
Only at Universal.
It'll be like, holy crap, he did it.
Can I bring it back to the beginning of the movie? Right quick?
Yes, yeah, the exciting
let's go to the
45
beginning.
minutes.
Yeah, we got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Did anybody catch the instrumental, the song that was playing?
Yeah,
at
it
the
was
very beginning?
Metallica.
That was
Nothing
all.
else
Then it came-
matters.
Yes.
And then when they went back and they did some more flashbacks to the conquistadors later in the movie, it was playing again. I think that was, it sounded awesome.
I dug that version, actually. That was kind of neat.
Can I tell you, that's when you know you're old, when Disney opens a movie with a Metallica song.
A nice Metallica
Yeah, an
song.
instrumental When Metallica is in Disney movies, you might be old.
Yeah.
Look, time out. This was the second time they did something like that. Because remember in Black Widow, they did the Teen Spirit thing?
Yes.
In like a slow or instrumental type of thing?
That worked less, though.
Yes,
the Teen
no, I
Spirit
agree.
thing worked less. The Metallica one, I'm like, I'm not really hearing this, am I?
Yeah.
Metallica as a Spanish lullaby.
That's it. Yeah.
In the next Muppet movie, they're gonna have Master of Puppets.
Oh, there you go.
I thought you were about to say Master P.
Yeah, well, you know, in that version, Kermit has been an ordained minister.
Oh.
He's a pastor of Muppets.
Hey, it's a Jungle Cruise movie. Bad puns are written in.
I'm praying for you to tell a good joke right now.
I'm impressed he thought of that quick. That was
clever.
pretty good.
Yes,
Lee
indeed.
could be the skipper.
He is the skipper.
He is the skipper. Look at him. He's dressed like a skipper.
That's it. Skipper Lee.
He's a little rough around the edges,
Yes, indeed.
but with a heart of gold.
The 45 minutes with them introducing Emily Blunt's character and stuff. I thought it was a nice distraction of the brother going through the whole soliloquy and reading through the cards while she broke through everything. Like, I kind of felt like that was a cool Indiana Jones kind of thing. I mean, I wasn't like, oh man, it's garbage, but I liked how it showed a lot about her. Like, they even introduced her without actually her saying her own name, which I thought that was pretty slick. But those stunts and the action, that beat was great. Her hanging out the ladder and all that stuff. I was totally into that.
Well, her look in the courtroom
Absolutely.
remind me of Eliza from Last Crusade. Indiana Jones' The Last Crusade.
Well, you started cracking up. It was like pause for dramatic effect when he read that. Actually, like you started laughing when that happened. No, I thought that was a brilliant
good.
segment. I also thought similarly that the next segment you saw, where you saw The Rock doing like a fake version of the Jungle Cruise.
Yes.
That was
On the
great.
episode. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
all the little trapdoors and the water flows down, and the rock, the little thing sets this in motion, and the hippopotamus jumps out of the water. And it was also cool to see, kind of like a tribute to the Jungle Cruise with, with the hippopotamus in the water and the backside of water and all that stuff. So it was
Backside of
great.
water.
And it was like real
Backside.
satisfying if you're a Jungle Cruise aficionado or fan. You're like, oh, I can't wait for them to do backside of water. You know they had to do it and all that stuff. So it was great.
It's like they did it at the beginning, knock it all out the way, and then they just that way they
Sure,
can move
absolutely.
on.
Like, hey, let's get what you want, what you came here for. All the Jungle Cruise attraction jokes.
Did y'all
Knock 'em
notice
out.
that one of the passengers on the boat was the same guy from WandaVision, the one with the mustache?
Yes.
No, I
yeah,
did not.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't
Yeah, he was
notice
on
that.
there. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he was also in Winter Soldier 2, I think. I'm not Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter
Loki.
Soldier.
Or Loki?
Oh, was he a Loki? Yeah, he was in Loki
I think
too.
so. Yeah, they're getting their mileage out of that guy.
Yeah, he must have a hell of a contract with Disney.
To bring it back to the negative, though, so it's hard to imagine that a guy who's been alive for 400 years and have accumulated so much knowledge has ended up as a shyster, scrounging for money on a river in a town that he himself built. It just seems like it really. That is why this movie took such a wrong turn when they decided to make him one of the conquistadors. I mean, he didn't even get the benefit of any of the superpowers that they apparently got by being trapped in the jungle. I mean, they were like a team of Skeletor's, henchmen or something that suddenly come to life. And one was they had
B-Man,
There's a bee guy.
B-Man.
There's a mud dude.
There was
Mudman.
Mudman, Snake,
Tree
And the
Man,
snake guy,
Snake
yeah.
Man, like
Yeah.
all of them,
That's them snakes.
like a broke ass Suicide Squad or
Suicide Squad.
Horde or whatever you want to
Bad
call
version
it.
of Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go talk to the B-Man. Send somebody out there.
we're disgusting. Speak for yourself. I'm delicious.
Yeah, I'm beautiful. Yeah, that was cool.
That was funny. Yeah, I like
They
that.
talk-
Was anybody else expecting to hear snakes? Why did it have to be snakes? I was. Cause it goes back to the beginning again. I was almost asked, did John Williams score the music for this? Because in the beginning it sounded so Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, but then it dropped it.
No, yeah, and that's it. So that's the thing, maybe because it was 2 hours, right? 2 hours and 9
about
minutes,
2 hours.
something
Yeah,
like that.
a little over 2. Yeah.
And I think now to Lee's point earlier, that's the thing. Like you stick the first half of that where they're, like you said, they're going through everything. They have the adventure. They have Proxima the Jaguar. I mean,
Love that cat.
That was cool. I mean, I kind of got past the CGI part because it was like you had to let that go. You know what I mean? You
it
just
was
had
bad.
to.
It
Yeah.
wasn't terrible, though. It wasn't.
It
there
was
a couple-
noticeable, though.
It was very
There's a
noticeable.
couple times where you're like, oh, I see it. But overall,
More than a
it was-
couple.
it wasn't
No,
bad.
right
It
up,
was every time
Right up for
for
me,
me.
it was like, maybe the budget wasn't as big. For
Oh,
that.
when everybody puked and then the cat drank too much and puked.
The fact that the cat was drunk, I was like, I want that cat.
There was
It was,
like quite a bit of peeing jokes and gay jokes and vomiting and like all kinds of
Reach around jokes.
Yes.
all
all
kinds of
kinds.
stuff. Yes.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
when he was-
wow, Disney.
you want me to put the pole? You want me to put the pole in him? What was that when they were trying to take the sword out the rock?
Yeah, he's like,
you mean to reach from behind?
Yeah, you want me to jiggle it? No, I want her to do. You want me to do it? Like, okay, that's
Would you-
enough.
yes,
I was
Would
like,
you like to bite down on my stick?
yeah.
Yes.
I was like, that was enough.
This is your first time. I could tell it was your first time.
Yeah, just keep
better
pulling.
use 2 hands.
You want? One hand. So
It's
with
okay.
that, you
I've
know.
done this a lot.
Just do it.
That bring well,
Toot it out.
2 things. One, I didn't know jaguars were so nice. You should let them out of the cage a lot.
Well, we're not emus, so
2, that's a
Eli, I've been
perfect.
telling you.
That's a perfect segue to the brother. So why don't we talk about that? Because a lot of people are saying this is your first openly gay Disney character.
Oh, his love interest are elsewhere? We'll call him
elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
Yeah,
Elsewhere.
Saying
Elsewhere.
I was like, really? That's
Think
like
elsewhere is fire.
like a multi-universe. You're out there.
Elsewhere. That's nowhere.
Yeah,
Elsewhere.
I look. I think if you heard me say it, I was like, "Oh, come on, now here come more inclusive. Here
Yep.
come." And I don't. I think I didn't. I had inferred that. Well, remember he had to load all of his luggage,
Yes.
and I was like, "Well, I can't say exactly what I said, but I was like, he seems more female than Emily Blunt." I put it in a different way, if you remember, but for the sake of not cursing, I was like, yeah, he's got too much stuff. So I'd already kind of inferred that, but I didn't really need it like reinforced. But they did it in how you say, a nice way to define him and say that's part of the origin. But I was like, it didn't make him any different.
Well, that's where it kind of slowed down for me. It was like that whole conversation with him and The Rock, where we arrive at where he discovers that his love interest are elsewhere. I was like, I wasn't too sure what that was doing for the story.
It did nothing for the story. It was just
Right.
put in there
That
for
did nothing.
inclusive. It's like
Listen.
making Trader Sam a woman. Just
Yeah, that
because
was-
you
yeah.
didn't have enough women in the story.
I thought he was using that as a way to define the strength of his bond with his sister. I mean, that's how I thought he was taking it. You know?
Well, that's the way they explained
That's
it.
what
That's
they
why he's
explained
going on adventures with her.
Yeah.
But
You
why
know,
was that
that's why
needed
he-
for the story, though?
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
That's why I was
It was
curious.
needed for him.
What do you mean it was needed for him?
Needed for him.
To develop his character?
Why can't it just be like, yeah, my
I like
sister's...
hanging out
I
with
like my sister.
Yeah, like you never needed it explained to you why the dude in the Mummy always hung around his
Yeah.
sister.
He was greedy.
I'm an only
He wanted
child.
treasure.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, when in Commando, when they kidnap his daughter, you don't need to explain the bond between a father and his daughter.
But it's just my daughter.
Right. You shouldn't have to explain the bond between a brother and a sister. That if something would happen with the sister, the brother would go out there and protect it.
Fair.
Look, I don't have a problem with it. I just felt that it was kind of cheapened that they took this guy who, up until that one moment, was the wimpiest, most pompous, prissy kind of guy. Peed his pants. Like, there was a lot of peeing pants jokes.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
whole lot of them.
Pee pants.
Yeah, it's just, it's like, wow, this is where you're going to, plant a flag? But that's the thing. They didn't really plant a flag.
Well, then they put the
They-
war paint on him, and then he was
Yeah.
decking people and all that stuff.
And he grew.
Yeah, and he grew up.
You let the jungle take him over.
I really thought he was going to
Now
marry.
he's butch.
I thought he was going to marry one of the savages. I don't know why. Because
Did you have a comic book?
yeah, it's a great book. You're missing out. You're missing out. I thought that's where that was going at first, but I'm like, all right, cool. They're not exploring it any further. Just leave the dude as he is. Yeah.
It's like Disney wants the credit for introducing their first gay character without actually doing it.
Well,
You know
we
what I'm saying?
had-
They're like, we're going to keep touching on this. Like you just said, they had what was
Dude
his
from
name?
Beauty and Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, LeFou.
The food, thank you.
They
Yeah.
didn't do it. There was a look there where you understood. It's like, we want to be credited for being so bold and get people talking because we're doing this without fully committing to doing it. Because they never came out and said it.
Yeah, they just had mannerisms and things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why don't you make them kiss?
Yeah,
I mean, what point is maybe they should have said that should have been the magical part with the heartbroken warrior, or something like that. And then it would have maybe made a little more sense for him to kiss a warrior. I don't know.
I just think if you're going to dance around the issue, why even bring it up in the first place?
That's unless he's the heart of the story, because you don't do any. That's like what. That's fair. That's like saying when you have the character, the characters of one race or another, that there's certain, how you say,
Je ne sais quoi.
yeah, you go. Thank you.
Je ne sais quoi.
to you too.
Quinoa.
There you go.
Quinoa salad.
There you go.
Sure,
Quinceanera.
she spoke French.
Yeah, so, right? There's certain aspects that you add to the character that people are like, hey man, why did that brother got to be a pimp, or why did what I mean, like that kind of stuff. So it's like, well, why is it that if the brother is peed in his pants, why does he have to be so open about his elsewhereness? At the same time,
Well, it didn't seem like The Rock, Frank, whatever you want to call him, did anything to earn the brother's trust at that point. He tried to screw him over multiple times,
Yeah.
but just for some reason, after nearly going off the waterfalls while trying to convince them, using the waterfalls, going over it to try and convince them, you want to turn back? You want to turn back? You want to turn back? Over and over again, one trick after another, and then he still tried to trick him when he got back to when they got to the tribal part.
yeah, that was messed up.
Yes.
So
So
it's also just come on, we understand it already. You don't have to do any more tricks. We
Right.
get it.
Yeah, I was spit after that one, because that was like, oh man, they all got knocked out. Yeah, they see the main cat, and I'm like, oh, they're in danger. And then in some cases, that's like a cheat, right? Days like mock you, like, oh, you think they're in danger? Nope, it's a prank.
So, if that moment between The Rock and the brother was supposed to be a bonding moment, then why didn't you just try and, again, get rid of him, a few moments later when they run into the native tribe, which, that was another thing I was surprised that they went with.
What?
Where they're like, we're going to have a native tribe in this movie.
Oh,
because I
indigenous
thought
folk?
Yes, I thought that was a bad thing. But apparently, as long as they're not portrayed negatively, as long as there's no bad tribes, all tribes
Well,
are good.
they were the good guys in the movie, so.
Right.
Right, but yeah, they got killed really quick.
Well, if you look at it, everything in the jungle was kind of good. The only thing that was bad was the curse stuff. The Rock comes out and tells you everything in the jungle will kill you, but what you find out is that everything in the jungle is good. You got a tree of life over here. You've got, happy natives living in jaguars that just want to be
Hang out
friends.
with you.
It's men that are the jerks.
There you go.
And on that point, Did anybody catch the? Now, look, we all understand. In the century and earlier, women didn't have the same rights as men. But in certain things were expected of women not to wear pants. That was the biggest one. But there was a lot of the men booing when the female doctor was brought up, and that there shouldn't be a female doctor, stuff like that. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
It was kind of hard not to catch that. Yeah.
That was kind of throwing the face out there. It's like, okay, we understood that. We understood that's the way it was back then, but we don't need it thrown in our face. The pants jokes are good enough. It was rolled enough for me.
Well, I mean, I don't look at it as being thrown in our face. It's just history. It is what it was. At that time.
Yeah, it didn't really bother me as much.
Yeah, at that time, a bunch of old, crusty people felt like women didn't have a say-so, and that's why you saw the women in the secretary's gallery clapping like, yay, because they felt like, this needs to change. Y'all wouldn't even give her an audience here.
Yeah, that was cold when she was sneaking in and the dude said, the secretary's gallery is like that way. I was like, damn, that was kind of cool.
Right, and that's what it started like, we already heard the speech before, and it was from a woman. Like that. And that's, it's exactly what happened. So I didn't mind it so much. Was it a bit gratuitous to your point, Kirk? Yeah.
Yeah. Really quick, though, the only thing is I really did not like was when they fought the creatures, they always fought the creatures like at night. Like you were saying, like they fought the. I could never see what they were doing. I couldn't like
the whole in battle. Yeah, you couldn't really see it.
Do you think that's a CGI thing to where like it works better on darker backgrounds or something like that?
I think it may be truthful to say, maybe part of the reason they did it is to disguise how bad the CGI was.
Yeah, I can see that.
It could be that, but
maybe a budget issue. But we've seen many movies done in the day.
I was going to say, I've seen T-Rexes in broad daylight that looked a lot more convincing than the snakes coming out of. I forgot the actor's name.
Oh, Edgar Ramirez.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot more convincing CGI effects than that.
Yeah, I couldn't. That was the one thing I just literally I couldn't take it because every time those parts came out, they were so crucial. Like that whole end thing when they tried to get the Avatar tree and all that stuff, it was all so dark. I just was like, I don't know what's happening. I got an idea what's happening, but I can't see what's happening.
So that's part of my. Okay, so if we're going to really get into this, that's part of my problem. The major plot holes that you could drive a U-boat submarine,
German U-boat
down the Amazon through. Yes, it's like, so how did anybody even know? Like Prince Joachim or whatever. How did he know the conquistadors were trapped in that cave? The only person that could have put that out there was The Rock.
Oh, no,
he's the one who trapped him.
Yeah.
So how did the legend get out to know that they were even down there for Prince Joachim or whatever to find him?
Did you give him a drip of water? Yeah.
And maybe he gave him a jungle cruise.
To know exactly what he needed to wake those guys up. The only person that could have possibly put that out would have been The Rock, because he was the only one there who knew what happened, how it happened, and the way to free them.
He trapped them.
So
down there we are the Nazis. We have ways of making people talk.
Yeah,
and that was a Russian accent.
We have a bunch of maps.
Yes.
Why did the German prince guy Joachim betray the conquistadors? Why did he start killing bees indiscriminately? Because there were more than enough petals for everybody. It was a whole big tree.
We must win the war.
And then why not just wait until the next moon to get the petal?
Yeah, the tree. The whole thing with the tree. That was crazy. Like, okay, here, revive it. And they revive it. And they're like, oh, well, the moon's going away. Everything's messed up. Like, whoa.
The moon came back.
Yeah.
How did the moon come back?
There's going to be more moon. There's always moon.
No, moon. Creep back.
Look, 2 more days. Be
Moonlight.
right there.
What up?
Y'all need me?
Y'all thought I was out?
Back again.
Moon back.
Who won't see it go pink and get on the tree?
It's funny. Didn't they say it was some kind of special moon, which I didn't really get?
It was, but even then, okay, so you're like, okay, now we know where it's at. Yeah. We know exactly what's going to happen. We just got to wait a year for the next time the moon comes. If it's a year from now, or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. Like, I one thing I had, it's just a weird thought, but like, Do you think German people get tired of being the bad guys now?
That's a fair question.
Like, dude, okay, we get it. We were bad. We did a lot of bad, but do we have to be the bad guys in every movie? You know?
They're really good.
Well, even
though.
more so, it's like, why do you have to keep bringing up the Nazi thing?
Yeah, you know.
Well, technically, they're not Nazis.
They weren't
Were they
Nazis.
Nazis?
You're right. No, they weren't, because this is World War One.
World War One, yes.
Yeah.
But everybody mentally, subconsciously, like, you know that was.
Yeah, it's like everyone's like, yeah, that's a German dude. He's gonna be bad.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
We must make them atone for their sins.
We all screen again, and we gonna make money off you.
Yeah, no one cares about German feelings when they make movies.
really
I
don't.
can tell you. Another question I had, like, why wouldn't the natives who knew all about it, that The Rock was friendly with when he got cursed along with the 4 guys who betrayed them, why wouldn't they help him? Like, they had this route, they had the power to get. Why wouldn't they have helped him, not be cursed along with the rest of them?
I don't know.
Were they the same tribe that put the curse in the first place?
They understood
Yes.
the curse
They were?
too, right?
Okay.
But that's what
I
they
think
said.
they were. I'm pretty sure. Like, I've only seen it once, and then a little bit of when Eli
I
was
watched
watching
it.
it. Yeah.
So I'd be curious to know when they made
in the
amends.
beginning.
Well, I don't think they were ever at odds. Like, they were all getting along. The conquistador dude went crazy, and The Rock tried to stop him from killing everybody.
Yeah, because he
Yeah, but
wanted.
the old dude put the curse on everything, all those guys, including the Rock.
yeah,
didn't
sure. Yeah, because they would
So
take the pedal, and he didn't want him to go, and then he said, "Screw you!" and they start killing his people.
And I could see him say, "Well, yeah, that jerk over there, he must be with him because he didn't try and stop him from killing me." But clearly, The Rock would have had no idea. And then the dude who sat there dying, who delivered the curse, didn't know enough to say, "Oh, don't curse them all. Just curse the 4 and leave that one little guy who didn't participate in
Oh
this
yeah,
alone."
yeah. He threw out a blanket curse.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but it was more than the 4 of them because they were because after he healed them all, like they all got lost, and I thought they said they healed the whole army.
No.
or whatever.
There was the Mudman. There was the
Well, yeah,
P-Man. There
them
was
cats. But I
yeah.
thought in the Fable, I thought he had like fixed a whole bunch of them because like that's a whole tribe versus 4 people. There's no.
Well, no, it's if you
I
remember,
thought he
it's
had the
like
whole
when he
army.
had the whole army as they were trying to search for this thing.
Right.
People of the army started dying off because of various things.
I see what Eli's saying.
Yeah, I
Eli's
think-
in the
saying,
jungle
how can 4 people take over an entire
Yeah,
tribe?
I think they
Oh,
all.
right,
I
right,
think they
that's
all
what you
came
mean.
back, and then when your boy went wild, I think his army came back, and then the savages killed them, and then I think those were the last remaining 4 alive when the shaman cursed them all.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Kevin and I's point, and I think the way the movie would describe it is that these were peaceful people,
Yeah, they would chill.
right? This guy was impatient. That's another friggin' story
What?
butthole.
What
Like,
happened?
you use the flour to save us. Can I just get a little piece of flour to take back to my daughter
Did
who's
they
dying?
one rib,
Right.
one pedal?
They're like, well, we stayed there. We had fun. And it was great and everything like that. And he grew impatient. Or do you mean that he was there for long enough and he's like, dude, my daughter's probably that close to death.
Right.
Can you give me the pedal so I can take it to my... Like, I think they would have given him. But for whatever reason, he wanted the tree. Why do you need the tree if they have access to it and they can just give you the...
And they were on friendly terms,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Can you grow
None
your
of this-
own tree if you got a pedal and put it in the dirt?
Screw that. I'm going from a 7 to a 6.
But it's funny. It's like the chief dude just straight up said, "You're not worthy." I was like, "Why is he not worthy?"
Because he started killing his people.
No, but this is before. This is way
And then
before that.
before,
No, this is before
They helped him
that.
out.
He cares about the health of his daughter, so
Yeah.
that makes him not worthy?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. It's like because if you watch it, he says, "Can I have some of that?" And he's like, "You're not worthy." That's when the dude freaks out. I was like, "No!"
Maybe that's editing. That's an editing thing. Maybe in reality, somebody was trying to hook up with his daughter, and he was like, "Hey, you trying to get off my daughter? There, better get off her. You ain't getting no pedals here."
Yeah, I give the first half of the movie a 9 out of 10, and the second half of the movie like a 2 out of 10.
Well, that's why I knocked points off. That's why I knocked the points off to get to 8.
No,
yeah.
I'm taking it down to 6 now.
We going to
We didn't
6.
see.
I'm going to 6.
Come
We didn't
on.
see that before he got the thing. He tried to lift the Thor's hammer and he couldn't. That's how he knew he wasn't worthy.
That's it.
Oh,
They
there was a
cut that
Thor's
in
hammer.
post.
Oh, okay.
They cut it in post.
It's on the floor.
If we keep talking, it's going to go to a 5.
Odin trapped them in the dirt. Okay, so
That's when they went backstage and they were like, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy."
I think I think that's the part when I get twisted is once they start to integrate The Rock as one of these guys. Like that's where it just breaks. It on all different angles it breaks. It doesn't, because one, like you said, it doesn't make him as scary. Like it doesn't when things happen to him now. Like remember he was in between kissing Emily Blunt underwater, like the piranhas attacked him. I was like, get out of here. Like
he came out with all the hickeys.
Yeah, like she's like, you ain't saying me like, well, I was getting attacked by fish. Like, dude,
whatever.
Yeah, it's like you fell 80 stories and lived. Like, so I'm not worried about the fish. You ate the fish earlier. So what difference does that even make about you getting attacked?
I didn't know you could eat piranha.
I've never tried that.
Apparently it's delicious.
Yeah, okay.
The blood.
You ask your pet jaguar to hook some up for you.
Blood.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the chicken bar right now and get a piranha.
It was a game of blood.
Yeah, that word. The blood make it taste
The
weird.
blood and the Crips.
So yeah, that was the whole thing. They shouldn't have tied his history to that whole tree stuff. Or why not make him a He-Man villain? Like, you didn't know, but I'm Rockman or something like that.
I got some kind of superpower that for whatever reason these guys have and I don't.
Yeah.
Because they were left to rot in a jungle and it gave them superpowers.
Exactly, because they were so stupid to fall in the trap when they can't see a hole so big that they fall into the depths of the underground of a jungle. It's just like nothing there, no water, nothing, and then the roots. That was scary though. I give them that. The roots and stuff grabbing people, that was creepy.
Very Harry Potter-ish.
Yeah,
the maze.
I was gonna give it like a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing.
Oh,
but
that too. Yeah, that could be good.
yeah, that was good. But still, they were like, he's like, yeah, I trapped them. They fell. Yeah, I got them. Like, yeah, man.
Speaking of the whole roots thing, like toward the end when the Rock got caught into all that, I'll be honest. I thought, if he would have died or got caught into that, I thought that would have been okay.
Oh, you talking about when he got caught in the thing?
Yeah, when he got caught in the thing. I don't think they needed to bring him back alive.
Yeah, I was with you too.
I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
All right, he got it. He made his choice.
Yeah.
He's gonna die. He took the leaf and made it his choice. He breathed his last breath. I didn't need him to come back alive.
I'm with you,
And I'm
actually.
like, this is totally cool. All right,
felt sad.
I could see them branching other movies using the other rivers that are in the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
But apparently not, because he came back to life, and Emily Blunt and The Rock are going to be in the Nile next time. Or the Mekong River or something. I could see this being a series of
Ho Chi
movies now.
Minh River.
Yeah, all that, because they have all those rivers in the Jungle Cruise attraction. So why not?
Would you see a sequel to this movie?
I'd be curious to see what they do. I'd be curious to see if they actually feel like this was successful enough to warrant a Pirates of the Caribbean series of movies.
No way.
There's no way it's going to be on that par, but I would say that, yes, I mean, the first 45 to 50 minutes is enough to make them consider it.
I think there's no way this thing doesn't get a sequel.
Yeah, I was going to say, but to bring back The Rock and to bring back Emily Blunt and to bring back all that for a movie that is probably going to get, a tepid, not maybe a little bit more than tepid, a decent reaction. I mean, you really have to have a blockbuster in your hand to bring that back, that kind of star power.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I was like, I was cool with The Rock's character dying, Frank dying, and then maybe they bring back Emily Blunt. And they're in the Nile River, and they have some other skipper that they deal with.
I think he just does some heroic move. He saves her. He was never a zombie, undead captain, skipper, whatever the hell, and he was a man just like anybody else. They saved it. And maybe what you cheese at the end is that there's some kind of tension between them, but you never see it. And then maybe they pay off that on the second
in another movie. Yeah, I was totally cool with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right. The romance stuff. Yeah, you said before. I'm with you on that one. I like them bickering back and forth. Like I thought it was kind of like a friends.
It was like a brother-sister relationship.
That's exactly what I took from it. But then once it was like, oh no, I love you, you stubborn man, and I was like, okay, that relationship would not work in real life. Like that's just based completely on hate. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just an extreme situation.
Speaking as a divorced man.
Absolutely.
You would know.
Trust me. I know for a fact if I got killed, she's like, I sure did hope he signed off the insurance policy. But give me the plant, baby. Save me. No, I think I'll keep the plant. But I agree.
The plant.
Yeah. She's like, just give me the plant. No, I'm not going to do it. I would say I'm with you though, Kevin. Like when he died and he was wrapped in the thing and they put on the story, I was like, damn, that's cool. Like I was like, oh, like I had the feeling. I was like, oh man, what it is. You get the thing, you walk away. She becomes a great scientist with what she discovered because a friend died for it.
Yep.
You know, like
and then Beauty and the Beast lighting came out and pink light.
right, and then she looked in the sky. There was like a memory of the Rock smiling in the clouds, and you know, and he was like, yeah, and he told some cool joke, you know. Something like that. Like he
the brother jumps in the car with another guy and be like, "I'm going elsewhere.
Let's play golf." Yeah,
we named the dog Indiana.
Something like that, you know. And like he had buried his demons with his enemies and saved us. Like,
and he saved them all.
It was great. But then once they went with what they did, I remember I watched it. I was like, oh, I get it. Everybody has to have a happy ending.
Well,
Totally.
it would have been more believable if they would have said that the plant not only cured all illnesses, because apparently she still makes it out of there with a plant.
With another plant.
A plant just shows up. So maybe she has a cure-all with her. But it would have been more believable if they would have just said, yeah, the plant cures all illnesses, all this, and it can bring back people from the dead. And she would have, like, brought him back from the dead with a piece of plant.
Yeah, because it's like, well, he was already immortal, so did it really do anything? Or, you know, it's very confusing.
Well, it released him from the curse.
But does that mean he's still immortal?
No.
He was bleeding.
No.
Because
Okay,
he
so
said
that's a
something
lie.
like he had when he took the plant, he was able to make a choice. Is what the story they went with, and so he could either choose to go finally, or I guess live. I guess is the other. He never really stated what the actual second choice was.
But he never had a choice because then they were fighting over who got the. He gave it to Lily, pretty much. He said, "Lily, you take it, and I'm gonna just, you know."
Well, he was willing to be cursed and sucked into the jungle
Exactly.
like all his buddies.
So he's dead. He's
technically
in the curse.
no, because apparently you can just put a drop of water in their mouth and they'll come back to life.
I mean, yeah, oh, that's
According
true.
to the German dude, yeah, because he wasn't dead yet until she put the plant in, and he made. I was hoping it was a choice, but it wasn't.
Well, why not just go back when the plant blooms again and then just wake up all the zombie things so they never come back again, just in case the river changes course at one point.
Oh, like finally kill him?
Yeah, exactly. Just kill him, or at least put him in jail, or do something.
That's the most brokest curse ever.
Leave him
made.
there to be tortured and tormented, all because the dude wanted to save his daughter.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
That's very messed up.
I mean, the dude went mad because he wanted to save his daughter. Who doesn't understand that?
So really, this is the shaman's fault, man, pretty much. You just could have let him go, give him a pedal, and then that would have been
I
it.
think the whole movie stands. Like, there's no movie if all that happens is the guy goes, "Thank you for saving me. You brought me back to life, and all my men here who are not worthy, but I know one who is worthy. My daughter, and she's dying, and she's 14. Can I have some of this to take home to her?"
I mean, like,
and he had a daughter too.
and that would have been the end of it.
He'd been like, excuse me, sir, that was
Movie over.
That was 400 years ago. I hate to say it, but your daughter died.
Well, he should know. He should have said it 400 years prior to the real shaman.
Oh, right,
who said he wasn't worthy. Then there's no movie.
Wait,
Yeah, the problem was he didn't say please.
There you go.
Please.
That's the
want
magic
pedal.
word. There you go. Yeah.
That's the power of please.
I would like the pedal.
I have one question. Okay, The Rock is also he's a map maker, but he didn't know
Yes.
anything. Cartographer.
No,
Thank
he
you.
knew. He just didn't want to. He didn't want to take her there. He knew.
He had been searching for it.
Yes, that's what. Yes, he had been searching for it. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
But he had a map that he made. A lot of maps. He just wasn't sure how to. Like, I was just kind of like, again, once they say, "Oh yeah, I made the map," I was like, "Well, this."
Because he didn't have the diamond head to tell him where to go.
Well, why
But
make
he
the
put him
map?
there.
But why? I
he-
mapped a whole bunch of stuff. It could be in one of these maps I made. How did he even send the map? I don't know. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, how
breaks
the
it
map
apart.
got out, that was another great story.
No, it's Dora.
Yo, there you go.
Dang.
I didn't see that one.
Dora said, "I need a map," and he came out.
There you go, kid.
Along
I'm
came
the map.
Swiper.
That was a little
Like,
girl.
oh, your girl.
was a
Oh, but
little
my
girl.
interests are elsewhere. I'm sorry, but I can help you.
Oh, the Rock has to get through the forest. It's like, yeah, the map shows up and helps.
Go to the village,
Yeah.
through the river, into the forest. Say it with me. Go to the village, through the river, into the forest.
It's a Rio. It's a river.
Yeah, they just
Dora.
they should have had just another person be the map maker, and then that would have made that a lot easier. a lot easier. Because
Oh man.
all right.
It just would have been a lot easier if The Rock was never one of the conquistadors and we just had the nice story and he was a guy who came there in search of the treasure and then finally gave up and fell in hard times. That would have been
good.
That would have been easy. That would have been, they just said, what works from all this crap? Stick it in there.
Get him, Popeye.
That word, undead pirate, get him in there.
Get it in there. Stick it.
Maybe they weren't planning on a second movie, so that's why they had to throw everything in there.
That's true. That's true. That's what they say.
We got to do it. We don't know. We can't. We're businessmen. We can't
two movies
trust
in
it.
one.
But at the end of the day, it's still better than Country Bears. It's still better than Haunted Mansion.
This is true.
So I would go with that. I mean, shoot, I would say.
How would you?
Go ahead.
How would you compare this? And I know it's not a live action remake. That's not what it is. But how would you compare this to the other live action remakes that we've been subjected to for the last 2 years or 3 years or however long it's been? You know, Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book. And
I don't know if this is a live action remake, though.
It's
I think
not,
this is
it's not.
an attraction adaptation.
Fair enough.
So if you
I get it.
compare
I'm
it,
just
I'd
asking.
say compare it to the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sure, but I'll take his question and say, I would say this: there was at least 45 minutes on-screen work that I was having so much fun with. I can't say that for 45 minutes straight of any of the live-action movies that I saw Disney put out. Can y'all? Never mind.
I like
Back up to a 7. Back up to a 7.
Working your way to the top. There you go.
Are we including Pirates in that? The first Pirates in that assessment?
First Pirates, that's the bar. You can't. That is the. There's nothing you put above the first Pirates.
I was gonna say the first one was like that was gangbusters.
I agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
Well, that's it's going to be Pirates the first one, and then Jungle Cruise the next. Because I'm only comparing the attraction movie makes.
I would agree.
So I'm not going to do any of the remakes. That's a totally different thing.
To that point. Yeah. So that means that you're jettisoning Pirates 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
right?
I think the rest of the series in Pirates wasn't as good as that first one.
I would totally concur.
The first one was great.
I would watch 45 minutes worth of the Jungle Cruise before I'd ever watch any of the other remaining 4 Pirates movies.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Kirk probably would disagree with that. I'd like to hear his thoughts.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah, okay. So what are your thoughts now?
Yeah, where would you put it with the attraction movie remakes?
I would, if we're including all Pirates movies.
All Pirates.
I would put it after the third one, after wrap of the Davy Jones.
The Swamp
Saga.
Woman, Crab Woman?
Yeah.
That's what the giant woman.
Yeah, the giant crab woman. The
Tia
sister?
Dalma, yes.
Tia Dalma?
You go first, second, third, Jungle Cruise.
Cruise, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
See,
Dude, I'd probably go Pirates 1, Jungle
and I
Cruise,
may put
and 2
Haunted
and 3.
Mansions before that one.
Wait, what?
Wait, Haunted Mansion before what?
Before 4 and 5?
Before the 4 and 5, yeah.
Really?
It's grown on me over the years. I've watched it a couple more times, and I'm digging it.
I've yet to watch it, but now you have me curious to see if that would support.
You've
that.
never seen the Haunted Mansion movie
with Eddie Murphy? No, I have. You know, don't forget, there's the Tower of Terror with the Goop.
I've never seen
that one.
So that's an attraction movie.
Oh, wow.
That's
I've
definitely probably at the bottom. I saw
it.
It
looks
one.
broke.
I saw it. It's very...
Wow. It's broke.
Well, to be honest, it's very unmemorable because I don't really remember a whole lot.
It had the Goot. That's all I remember.
I'd rather you say it was broke than unmemorable.
And the Goot, by me mean, is Steven Guttenberg,
of
course. Police Academy fame.
Mahoney. And the girl from Jurassic Park, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Laura Dern?
No, not Laura Dern. The little girl. The
one that screamed all the time.
Yeah. Well, wait, maybe the one. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the one who went on to be in Spider-Man. I don't know.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, it was Kirsten Dunst.
There you go.
Okay. Wow, that's weird. I knew who that was.
I've never seen the Country Bears movie. What's that one about? I've never seen it.
Ooh, I tried. I did try.
Oh, really?
It's about a bunch of bears.
I like
pretty much.
I couldn't make it through it. It's like picture Blues Brothers 2000
with bears.
With bears.
Oh my!
And
Okay.
now it's worth it at the end if you want to see a lot of talented New Orleans musicians on stage at the same time.
Oh, really?
Dr. John, B.B. King, all those guys end up on stage. I think at the end.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
No,
Play with the country band.
I'd watch it just to see that. But
No, they're just there playing with each other.
Okay.
Well, that didn't sound right.
Really?
I knew what you meant.
Is
They
that
were-
kind of movie?
They were jamming.
Yes.
Oh,
and-
you're not
and
talking about like animal bears.
No,
You're talking about like human bears.
Right. They bit on their stick and they reached around a little bit. And
Elsewhere.
All that. Yes.
Elsewhere,
Okay.
those kind of
It's
bears.
a different kind of movie. Okay, we gotta watch that on another one.
Brokeback bears.
All right.
Brokeback.
That's that other streaming service that I watched that one.
The other streaming, the Elsewhere streaming service.
Oh, Disney
Yes.
Plus some more at night. Gotcha.
Disney up all night.
All night.
More like Disney After Dark.
Yeah, buddy.
Disney a la noche.
Oh, my. Noche. Disney de la Noche. I don't
I think we've said it all.
Yeah, I was
think
about to say,
so.
I think that's a future
think
show
so.
that we should do since there's not too many.
Because I've never seen all of those.
Let's rank the attraction movies. Because I think most of them are, or if not all, are on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Let's rank them and see where we put them.
Go back and watch them again, you mean?
Yeah, sure, why not?
We got to go back.
We already got.
You give a neg-
I lived through
can you
that
give a
once,
negative
damn it.
rating?
You're not going to make me do it. You can't make
living.
You can't do it. I've been through that hell once.
I'm going to come in the studio and
Does this
Danny's in
include
a
all
straight
five
jacket.
pirates?
Don't do it to me again.
All Five Pirates, Tower of Terror,
All five
Haunted
pirates?
Mansion, Country Bears. What am I
Wait,
missing?
all 5 pirates?
Sure, why not?
Oh.
So that's like
Are
what?
there any-
That's
are there
like
any
eight?
others?
We already.
Or
That's a
9?
bracket because we
Not
have
a
the
bracket, but just let's rank them.
Can we at least put this up for a vote?
We
We
already
can
got
talk about it. This is nothing new, but
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see where we put it. I mean, I guess we kind of figure out our rankings, but I'd be,
Oh, no,
I'd be
wait.
curious.
Qualifying question. Are we just going with movies that were based on attractions? Like
Yes.
the attraction
Yes.
came first? We can't go with attractions that were sort of based
No,
on
not the
movies?
synergy stuff. We're talking about attractions, the original attractions that
No
inspired
First
the
Man
movie.
on the Mountain where Walt got Matterhorn kind of.
No,
No Johnny Tremaine where Liberty Square kind of came.
no, it's a simple
Movie
formula.
from-
Yeah, the attraction had to come first.
I'm going too
and then
deep
the movie.
into it, sorry.
You deep.
Well, it's not,
You're
it's
going
simple
deep,
formula.
deep,
Attraction
deep.
first,
Too
and
deep
then
in the
there.
topic.
No, nothing that inspired an attraction. Nothing that synergized with the movie. We're talking about the attraction was there, and then they said, "Oh, let's make a freaking
Like a
movie."
movie.
Yeah, you can handle that on Conquistadors of the Magic Kingdom.
Well, thank you for listening to that discussion. We're curious to know what you think about Jungle Cruise, the movie. Let us know the things that we got right, if there's things that we're missing, things we got wrong. We'd love to hear all those kind of things. And if you want to get in touch with us, we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. If you want to learn more about us, magicourway.com is the way to go. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. And also, you can get in touch with us through the following ways to share your opinions about Jungle Cruise the movie. You can shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com, or you can call or text us. Yes, I did say send us a text message at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815.
Conquistadora the Explorer.
That is 815-669-4226. Ole. And of course, we have a couple guys that do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics.
Hey, Rob Liefeld here. Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, all of it. You guys, what is up? Eli Ivory. What a great name. Eli Ivory, comic guru. I'm here to talk about you. I am here to say, check out ivorycomics.com. That's right, you. Check out ivorycomics.com. ivorycomics.com. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're missing out. The Savages comic cannot be beat, cannot be surpassed. You need to check it out, experience it for yourself, and you know the story. It's all about the glory. Congrats to you and all the magic that you're making with your Ivory Comics. Eli Ivory, comic book guru. Check out ivorycomics.com, comic book guru. Eli Ivory, the whole package. Deadpool said to. Do it. ivorycomics.com right now. Liefeld out.
Man, I tell you what, that just never gets old to me. Because if you told me as a kid you could have Rob Liefeld doing the intro for you, I'd be like, you lie. But you know what? That's what happens when you believe in your dreams and just keep on drawing like a madman. You too can get a legend to talk about you. And just like he said, you can go to the page, enjoy the artwork and everything, and follow a link to the Magic Our Way podcast.
So you never miss a beat.
You never miss a beat. That's right. Never miss an episode. Never miss a joke. Never miss a sound.
Kevin heard there was an opening with the Fat Boy.
Yeah.
I qualify.
He needs all the gigs he can get.
Yeah. I want to be in that Disorderlies movies too.
Oh, you all right? Right on.
Disorderlies too.
That's it.
Disorderly harder.
Po' boys.
More
That's it.
disorderly. Oh, the Po' Boys.
Po' boys.
Oh, we'd be like the Fat Boys. What's better, but more local. No, I like that.
That's it. That's it. We just got like
Well, wait, hold on. Copyright Magic Our Way 2021.
Po'
Thank you.
boys. Yes.
Coming to a theater near you.
You got it. So you can always have the synergy to follow the site and listen to the podcast, or go back to the podcast and visit the site. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm right there, Eli H. Ivory. As long as you're a real person, hey, you're welcome. How you doing? But if you're a bot, and Rita, I caught you. Thought you was going to get by me. Rita, you can't do that. Do you as a bot? Talking about some lady cutting fish up, talking about I'm looking for a husband. That's a bot. I knew it. You are not my friend.
My name is Svetlana.
Yeah,
I
that's
look for
right.
a husband in America.
Rita Piranha, they ain't work.
You just outed Rita, didn't you?
You literally did. That's right. You take yourself, put yourself on another boat, cruise on down somewhere else, because you a bot. You don't belong
What if
right
it's
here.
a really, really, really attractive bot?
No,
Doesn't matter, still a bot.
it's not a real bot. That's the point. If you're a real person, how you do it. But if you're a bot,
Have you ever seen Westworld?
yes, I have.
Even if it's that kind of bot. If it's Dolores,
Okay, but that means Dolores shows up at the house and says, "Hey, I need to help you." But that's the bot. That's different. It's a virus.
Somewhere a listener's going, what is Westworld?
It's a great show. Great show. But no, this is not Dolores. This was Rita. Rita is not Dolores. Okay, Rita literally had I'm looking for a husband and a bunch of stuff written in Vietnamese. That's a bot. I'm just saying I can't understand that. Not working with that. So there you out. Yeah, you out of there. So there you go. You can check out the Project Geisha Facebook page or facebook.com/Project Geisha. You can also find me on Instagram, posting up hearts and likes and shares and all that good stuff. EIV504. And of course on Twitter, I can be found at Hancock10166. So thank you guys for the toast for earlier. And, if you appreciate the madness, they just bringing me the gladness. And I got a whole new year to just keep bringing that on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I still cannot believe you doxed Rita.
That's it.
You did, man.
That's it. I'm
Good for
showing
you.
you, boy. I don't play.
That's right. You should out these bots.
That's it.
Out the bots.
You should do that, huh? You should
think
'cause people
out
think
the bots.
You just think it's just a joke, but it's
No.
real.
The bots is real.
Yeah.
They out there.
They out there.
Pole bots.
right.
Kind of like X-Files.
Like go bots. That's right. Out
It's like
there.
Sex Files.
That's really there.
Which I'm sure is a porn parody.
Yeah,
already.
not looking for love, just to take and hack your phone so they can call people and pose as you. It ain't happening.
Well, look, if you're not a bot and you want to travel to any of the Disney properties to check out Jungle Cruise, the attraction, and compare it to the movie, you could do it. Or, you know what? Maybe you want to come to New Orleans and have some Eli time since you subscribed at that Golden Oak level on Patreon. Patreon.com/Magic Our Way. You can book these vacations, right? Lee? You can book a vacation to New Orleans, right? With you?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, there you go. Tell them how to do this, man.
You can be sleeping on Eli's couch, but that's all right.
It's a comfortable couch.
It'll be the cheapest vacation ever.
Well, it depends on what you look
Might get some
like.
orange juice out of
That's
it.
true.
Oh, that's true.
That's very
You
true.
might get some orange juice.
I got an extra bedroom.
Yeah, if you're very butch, maybe not.
Oh boy, not Rita.
All right.
Don't even think about it, Rita.
Not Rita's Peter.
Not Rita's Peter.
Oh, okay.
No sir.
All right. So tell Rita Peter how to book a vacation with you, man.
No elsewhere around there.
Just give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832-ELSWHERE. 832-ELSWHER. Email me at lee@magicourway.com. Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/Lastovica Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. Instagram, you can find me at You Got a Friend in Lee Travel. And on TikTok, you can find me at You Got a Friend in Lee. And you can even hear the great joke that Danny gave me to put on TikTok. It's up there right now, so you can go check it out.
Right now?
Right now, it's on there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I ain't going to spoil it. You got to go check it out for yourself.
Awesome.
If you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with No.
Proxima Vica.
And look, we want to make sure we thank this gentleman for joining us. Once again, he was on the show last week, and he's on the show this week. He's our officer weekend. He was a pirate of the Magic Kingdom.
Conquistador of the Magic Kingdom.
He's a conquistador of the Magic Kingdom now.
I see.
He's a quartermaster, half-master,
Taskmaster.
he's a cartography master.
He's a fast passer.
He's a master debater.
That's right.
That's right.
All that.
And he loves Eli.
That's right. Bed jumper, all that
Bed
stuff.
jumper, yeah. You got the Olympic sport, he's a bed jumper.
I think that's why my back hurts me nowadays.
He's a gold, silver, and bronze medalist for the gold jumper.
He won't
bed
quit.
jumper. Because he's the only one competing.
He's a caricature. We got him up there on the wall, everything. All that good
Long
stuff.
time a weekend, most importantly, and now a Patreon supporter. Thank you so much, Kirk, for coming on the show, man.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Whenever you good gentlemen love to have me on, or allow me to be on, I love to be here.
We love
Even
you to be
virtually.
here.
Even virtually.
I love how you went from whenever y'all love to have me on to if y'all allow me.
Well, I figured that was being a little egotistical, so I said, put it the other way. I'm a humble man.
So flip it, reverse it, rub it down. Oh, no?
Oh!
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I struck something there.
No, you said...
You got him
flip it up,
happy.
I struck gold.
rub it down, and I went, oh, it's the song.
Oh, no.
Yeah, if you want, we can just cancel this Patreon program. You can just pay us $1,000 a month, and you can come on the show whenever you want.
Hey.
How about that?
And have Eli time.
I'll talk
That's
to you.
right.
How
I'm with
much?
that.
$1,000 a month. Let's talk today. Let's talk today.
That's
Read
like
it, read it. You ought to see
Nothing
this
but
one. Just,
Eli time.
yeah.
Yes, we'll talk to your bosses. They'll wire the money directly in our account. We'll be fine.
Yeah, be like bosom buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get all the books. We'll plot the next series of Ivory Comics together.
There you go.
Talk to you about that for 3 hours. Daddy will tell you. That's what I can do.
Eli and his adventures with bots.
Oh, man, dude. Yeah, with that package, yeah, Eli's at your beck and call, man.
That's it. Let's talk. What happened to you? How was your day?
With
How
that
your mama
package, you
doing?
get Eli package.
Yeah. How your daddy
Wait,
doing? What happened?
Can I get some home cooked food?
You cooking it?
I'm paying for my Eli time. Do I get some home cooked
I'll
food?
cheer you on while you cook it.
If it can be cooked on a George Foreman grill.
Yeah, or an air
can
fryer.
cook it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
pay
air
for
broil it.
If I pay for the lead time, I expect food. But I mean, get some food at least.
Yeah,
Some
I
nice
mean,
white food.
do you ask me to cook for you? I'm like, I don't know about that. I can put some chicken in the air fryer and put the roast on.
You don't want orange juice later in the evening.
Kevin here is the master for cook. You ever you very shy about that. I know this dude is quite
He's got to
exquisite.
cook it with magic.
Yeah,
He's
exactly. You got two
cook
gentlemen
also,
that
but-
cook. I'm the guy that talk to you about how you get your book across and what's happening in your life. That's what I'm doing. I'm like Dr. Phil.
Dr. was a Marvel
Dr.
man.
E.
He's Dr. Pheel.
Good.
Good?
Feel good
Good?
for you.
You will after he's done with you.
Hey, I'll bring the lotion, whatever. $1,000 a month. Bring 2 bottles. There you go.
I have been in a bed with Eli before, so I know how to.
Oh, yeah. He'll massage you like Wagyu beef.
Oh,
That's $2,000 a month.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
That's that level.
Yeah.
We'll call it the Wagyu level.
That is, you stay Golden Oak level.
Yeah, I like it.
I got to massage people and stuff. What's going on here? I'm turning people into Wagyu beef and everything.
That's right. The most tender meat ever.
Oh, boy. Watch out. Get my hand gripper right now.
And you'll be saying, what are you going to do with all this meat?
Get
And look,
that.
guys, if you want to support all this madness, there's so many ways
Now
you
I'm
can do it. And now that Kirk is scared, why don't you reach out and touch us and support us, please? You can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Anyways,
consensually touch. Yeah.
potentially, yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll write contracts.
Right.
Kobe. Anyway, anyways, you support the show is deeply appreciated. And we also want to take a second and thank you for being a loyal listener. And we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions on welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, weekends, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
I have every intention of eating those bananas for breakfast, but I still somehow end up with tacos.
Conquistadillas.
Hey, it's Lee from the Magic